It seems like there's always Warriors gossip. You know, I don't want to be a homer here, but it's like every other day the Warriors are in the news with some sort of rumor or gossip. This time it comes from Andrew Bogut in his podcast. The first bit of news was that there was a deal on the table, Kelly Oubre for Lonzo Ball, that the Warriors turned down. I think that is Warriors spin. I think the Warriors are going to leak out a couple of proposed trade offers, just like the Dinwiddie one we heard last week. No, we want Kelly. We didn't even want Lonzo. We wanted Kelly. I think that they're trying to make Oubre think that they want to keep him long-term, and they always have. It's spin control. But I think the more intriguing and probably real part of what Bogut let us know about was this.
Not going to name the player, but I've heard the Warriors players didn't take too lightly to those comments. They basically had made it pretty known that Andre Iguodala, a Finals MVP, was okay with coming off a bench, but we have Kelly Oubre who won't, and that was not directed behind his back. That was to his face by an unnamed player in that locker room who was not too happy with those comments.
Now, it could only be one of three guys, right? Because if you look back to the dynasty, there's only three guys remaining. There's Looney, there's Steph, and there's you-know-who. And I think we all know who would say that. But let me shoot Kelly Oubre a little bit of bail here, because the difference is this is no longer that, Draymond. If you're Kelly Oubre and you get traded to the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, okay, you shut up and you come off the bench. He's looking around at this team right now. He's like, nah, I'm not coming off the bench. So I kind of get that as well. And again, the relationship, it seems rocky. It looks like the Warriors are trying to mend it through these leaks. But, it's pointing towards Oubre departing this summer. Let's just call it what it is. The other brow raiser from some Warriors media yesterday was James Wiseman said he talks to Kevin Durant every day. He wants to learn more about the Warriors system. Now, look, you see it in football a lot too, right? It's so complicated. Kyle Shanahan's system, it's so complicated. It's the terminology. And to be fair, football is far more complicated than basketball. It's 5 times more complicated. And why I said is, like, basketball is not complicated. The system's not complicated. We're not dealing with rocket science here. This isn't trigonometry. Like, you don't need to talk to someone every day about learning the system secondhand. Just learn it. I think the problem comes to mind for everybody is, that Durant is influencing his perception of Steve Kerr. Wiseman is struggling. He's not getting as much playing time as he wants. Now he has KD in his ear talking trash about Kerr. He is. It sounds to me like a recipe for, dare I say, a Chris Webber-like situation. Only at this point, let's be real here, James couldn't hold rookie C. Webb's jockstrap. That's just the reality of the situation. We're talking about 2 different caliber players at this point. But, there's just too much. There's just too much chatter and incongruent things coming out of the Warriors organization right now. It's troubling. I'm going to get to a question here, though. Mr. Kelliker, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He had asked me on Twitter, what are the Warriors' chances of getting Jalen Suggs? He, like I, was still very impressed with Suggs last night, even in the loss. Of course, everybody would love to pair him with Steph Curry, right? And by the way, James Wiseman and Suggs are friends as well. So it'd be a match made in heaven. But it would take a perfect storm. It would take a perfect storm. Now, I just got done saying Minnesota looks like they're going to win some games here. What would have to happen is we'd have to land Minnesota's pick, and it'd have to land at 4 or 5, right? But pretty much 4. And then what you'd have to see happen is Cade Cunningham go 1, and then some order of Jonathan Kuminga and Evan Mobley go 2 and 3. He'd have to slide to 4, and we'd have to land that 4th pick. So it would have to be a perfect storm for the Warriors to land Suggs. Now, maybe something more realistic would be the Warriors drafting Davion Mitchell, newly crowned national champion, with their own pick. Somewhere around 10 or 12, right? We'll see how they finish out. But this is a guy that could come in and immediately raise the floor defensively, right? and then perhaps be that heir apparent to Draymond as far as leadership goes and that kind of mentality. This is the Hezi, brought to you by basketballgods.net. I'm out, y'all.